Hey guys, it's Dragon Rockstar here, coming with my Chaos Thunder Dragon Lightsworn deck well, not deck profile, my test hand video of the deck. So keep in mind, there's gonna be a few test hands where I won't play. There's gonna be a few test hands where I will play. I will play them out, show you what specific ways and combos you'll be doing just to play the specific way, and then I'll be doing a different update of this deck. There's some tweaks I want to do to the deck, but a lot of you guys really want to see how well this version plays, so I'll be more willing to show you guys this. Excuse any background noises or any noises you hear at all. I apologize for any of it. Due to the fact my mom and my family might end up showing back home, so I just rather put that a little ahead of times. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get started, right guys? So, gotta shuffle the deck, right? I like to shuffle it on camera, but my camera is like directly in front of me and I don't want to bump into it, if you get what I mean. And sorry for like the dirty sleeves. I haven't got my hands on some new fresh sleeves at this current moment, and it's kind of hard to get my hands on sleeves due to the fact of the pandemic. When I get me some brand new sleeves, I'll probably end up test handing some of my other decks with different ways. So let's just go ahead and get started, right guys? So, draw the top 5, right? So, Chaos Valkyria, Charge Light Brigade, Unizombie, Shiranui Solitaire, as well as a Thunder Dragon Roar. Now, this isn't really the best hand because Shiranui Solitaire is now dead. Unizombie is basically your only best bet. Charge Light Brigade can help you get cards that you need to the graveyard, so like you can mill off a lot of stuff. So it just all depends. If I was to test hand this, which I probably would, I would probably play the Charge first, see what I get off of that. Utilize the Chaos Valkyria while I have a chance. After I normal summon Unizombie. So like, for instance, let's just I play this one off. For instance, you use Charge Light Brigade, Dragon Ravine, Adai's Revolution Dragon, and Shiranui Solitaire. Really isn't the best mills in the game, but you get a raid into your hand, so that's really all that matters. So let's just go ahead and search for a Raiden. Nope. There we go. Add it to our hand. Shuffle real quick. Sometimes you end up drawing the one of the deck, so it's like Unizombie, but it's okay. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. So then I'll normal summon the Unizombie. Then I'm going to use the Unizombie's effect. I'm going to discard that Roar. I don't need Roar in my hand at this current moment, and increase his level by 1. Then I'm going to special summon the Chaos Valkyria by banishing the Roar. So it gives me an additional summon. So Roar gives me an additional summon to special summon out. Let's just go with Dark. Special summon Dark. Let's just get rid of all that. I know sometimes you guys want to see me shuffle, but I want to just get the shuffling out the way real quickly. So there we go. And let's cut. Then I'm going to synchro summon. So I'm going to synchro with these two. Go with my Thought Roller, Archfiend here. Now I'm going to activate his effect. Activate the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm okay. I'm milling the Dragoon package. Sometimes it's okay because you can get it back to your hand as fast as possible, or get it back into your deck as fast as possible with Thunder Dragon or Chaos Valkyria, or not Chaos Valkyria. Sorry about this, guys. What is it? The Creator. You can get it back with the Creator by banishing it from the grave. Right now, I'm just going to add, for instance, the Witherbuster. Would have gone for the Thunder Dragon, but right now I don't really need the Thunder Dragon in this current moment. So I'm special summon him. If I have a target, obviously I have a target. I have Dark Condition, so banish the Dark Condition. Special summon Witherbuster. Link away the Witherbuster for Striker Dragon. Special summon that Striker Dragon. Sometimes you'll use Striker Summon, sometimes you might not. It all depends on what you do with the current way you do things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add Clap Serpent because I linked away Witherbuster there. Here we go. Shuffle real quick. There you go. Like I said, sorry for any of how dirty the card sleeves are. Then I'm going to special summon Witherbuster. Or, I mean, Collapse Serpent, by banishing the Witherbuster. We don't need it in the graveyard at this current moment. That way we can utilize the Chaos Space that we just sent to the graveyard. So special. Then I'm going to link with these two. For Dragonite Umrus. And use his effect to get Dragon Ravine. Here's the mistake I did. Usually I go for dark sometimes, but in reality I would recommend going for the Hawks. That way sometimes when you have these cards in your hand, you can recycle, like shuffle them back into the deck and get more pluses. But this is still okay. I'll still play the Dragon Ravine. I'm going to use the Dragon Ravine to ditch, we'll ditch Solitaire. We'll ditch Solitaire, and then we're going to look in our graveyard real quick, see what we do need in our graveyard at this current moment. Right now, it's not really much. So, like, what I mean is, like, sometimes you would go for... Let's not go for dark. So, say if we wanted to go for Hawk, right? So, we go for Hawk, right? And then we're going to use Chaos Space. So, let's just use Chaos Space. Banish it. Put back Witherbuster. Get an additional draw. We drew Chaos Space, so we can use Chaos Space into our advantage. Because Chaos Space basically say you can only use one of each effects. Both effects you can only use once per turn. So we didn't use its sent to the graveyard to add a Chaos Monster effect. But we did get this, so I'm going to use this. Discard the Raiden. Get... the Chaos Creator. The guy I was talking about earlier that I couldn't pronounce the name right. Sorry about that, guys. Get that to my hand. Sorry for tapping the camera there. So now we have a Chaos Space that we can use for later on. We got a Raiden. We got a Unizombie. So we can banish those to go off of more combos. I'm going to actually... link away with these two. To special summon Predaplant and Anaconda. For a good reason. Then I'm going to get Collapse Serpent's effect. And then Hawk's effect. So I'm going to use Collapse Serpent, then Hawk. So Collapse Serpent's effect first. So Witherbuster. Then I'm going to use Hawk's effect. I'm going to shuffle back both of these because we already used Witherbuster's effect and Sharon Solitaire we can't really use because we already have Unizombie in the graveyard. So we're going to shuffle these back. With Hawk's effect, we get to draw cards equal to the cards we shuffle back. So a lot of Thunder Dragon players would say that Hawk is not as useful. But in my personal opinion, I think Hawk is very powerful in certain instances. It's basically your Cyugical Dread for these type of decks. Then we draw two. So after I cut here. That's not bad. Mizuki for discard fodder for Dragon Ravine now. Then we got Allies Absolution, Revolution's Dragon Work we can discard right now if we want to. So we're going to use Dragon Ravine, get rid of that Mizuki. We don't need it right now. We're going to send... We're going to send... Let's send Starledge. Let's send Starledge. Then I'm going to special summon the Chaos Creator. I'm going to banish both the Raiden. And let's get rid of that Striker Dragon. We don't need it. Banish these two. Then we'll target up to 3 monsters in their banish pile. So 1, 2, 3. Special summon one of them. I'm special summoning the Raiden. Other 2 get shuffled back. Then I'm going to use the Raiden's ability. Mill 1, mill 2. That's actually okay. It might be okay if we didn't mill this, but it's okay from my personal eyes because it just gives us another Dark in the Graveyard for me right now. Personally, it's just a banish for my favorite Synchro monster in the graveyard. And I'm going to use Iodized Absolution Dragon. Discard it. Paying 500 life points and add... our big boy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link with these 2. We don't need them anymore. They're kind of useless right now. For IP Masquerena. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to special summon him by banishing both him and let's go with that Raiden. Let's get rid of these 2. We don't need them anymore in the grave. Banish them 2, special summon him. Then I'm going to overlay both. This is where it depends on your matchup. So you can either go for one of these 2. So you can go for number 38 or number 68, depending on what you, depending on the board you're going against. And then obviously you use the Predaplant Anaconda to send the Red Eyes Fusion and its materials to the graveyard. So like, you'll send boom, boom, and boom. To the graveyard, you'll send all these to the graveyard and utilize the Dragoon package. So you send all of them to get the Dragoon. You don't have a monster in your hand, so maybe instead of special summoning out the Chaos Armageddon, you could special summon out the Chaos and then use him to overlay. That way it just gives you another additional Synchro monster you can fall back on. And then you can overlay based on, depending on what you're going against. Then you have this Dragoon, and you have a card in your hand to discard, so you can use the Dragoon package. And then you have an IP Masquerena with Predaplant Anaconda, so it gets rid of the dead card on your side of the board. So this is usually the board sometimes you'll end up on. Or you'll end on, well, obviously Mekk Knight Crusader Anchormax with the IP Masquerena and Predaplant Anaconda is where you're going to really end up on. You could end on that, or you can end on with the Appaloosa. Either of these 2 can actually be very, very problematic against your opponent, depending on the matchup. So if you're going against like a rogue deck, this is usually something that you would use against a rogue deck. If you're going against a high-tier player, you pretty much summon out Mekk Knight Crusader Anchormax, because Anchormax is basically a card that's basically hard to get over, especially when you use IP Masquerena. Dragoon is a problem to this type of meta now, because we're going back from a combo heavy deck or combo heavy meta to now a kind of balanced meta where we have a little bit of combo, a little bit of stall, and a little bit of free range decks out there. So in my personal opinion, I think Dragoon is really good for this format, as well as these 2 right here. Either of these 2 can be problematic, especially against like heavy back row decks, because this guy won't be able to be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and usually trap cards these days will really target and destroy or remove the cards, and this basically says no. And then Appaloosa is basically good against like heavy monster heavy decks, so such if you play like a deck against a deck like mine, Appaloosa would be really, really strong. So yeah, it'd be either these 2 you pretty much will summon besides IP Masquerena or so. And then if you're afraid of Nibiru, you pretty much will go out for Appaloosa. So yeah. So that's the first test stand. We're going to go for our second test stand real quick. So let's go for the second test one. Shuffle real quick. Cut. Like, usually when you're at a tournament, you always want your opponent to cut. But we're not really at a tournament, but I'm showing you a couple test hands. So, top 5 cards. Oh, man, we drew Unizombie again. That's actually not bad. Now, this hand I won't really play out. I do like the fact we drew Dark Ruler No More, so you can actually probably predict it. You're probably going to go second. Depending on your matchups, usually your opponent might have you go first or second. If you go second, this is really a problematic card. And then you don't have to make the best board based on what I have in my hand here. You could probably make a little bit of a side rounder hand, or a side rounder board, where I call it. So, like, if we were to mill the top 3, we'll mill these 3, which is actually pretty bad in my personal opinion, but can still be somewhat decent. Because we do have Galactic Spiral Dragon, so that could be beneficial. But, yeah, this hand is pretty much a pretty good hand if you're going second. Now, if we were to draw another card, it'd be the Galactic Spiral Dragon, which can be beneficial. And then if we mill the top 3, it'd be that, and Mizuki, which can actually be really, really useful depending on what we do. So, this is not bad of a hand if you're going second. If you're going first, this could be situational. I'm not really going to play this hand. Let's just go ahead for a different one. I'm gonna do probably one or two more test hands and show you guys what this deck actually can somewhat do. So let's see. We draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oof. It's not really the best hand. This has actually been one of the hands where you consider as more of a brick. So I can't really play this hand out to really tell you what you can do. I can say that you got plays, so you got terraforming, you got chaos base, but really terraforming could be. It's just, this is a situational hand, so it just all depends on what you're doing. Red Ice Fusion's it's kind of good, but kind of bad at the same time. You could possibly maybe get, you can possibly get 2 monsters on the board, and then just link away, and then summon out Dragoon, and then summon out Predapla Anaconda, and use Predapla Anaconda just to send Red Ice Fusion from your hand and just fuse from your deck, and then, go off from there. But in my personal opinion, this is not really one of the best hands either. So let's just do one more. Like I said, you're more likely going to probably get bad hands with this deck. Sometimes you might get good hands. So we're going to do maybe do 1 or 2 more test hands. So let's go ahead. Do 1 more cut. Now we're going to draw the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Now that's a really good hand. That's a good hand that I would love to play. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it. So first off, I want to bait out most of my opponent's hand traps first. So I'll use the hand trap type cards like Charge Allow Brigade. Now they can't negate the mill. So that's on max. 1, 2, 3. Actually, that's a pretty good mill. If you're curious, we milled Hawk and Matrix. Creators, well, we drew our creator, so we're not really caring. Hawk can help us recycle our hand, and then Matrix can help us get a Thunder Monster in our hand quickly. So we're gonna add a Raiden. So let's add a Raiden. Just shuffle. Sorry about that, guys. This could be problematic. We could go for a Sharinary Solitaire, so which I'm probably gonna end up doing. I'm gonna use Solitaire's effect, tribute self to go for a Unizombie. Like I said, I'm gonna normal summon. I'm probably gonna end up normal. Yeah, I'm gonna normal summon the Unizombie. Utilize the Unizombie's effect. Now, comes to the situation. You could go for its effect to discard Nessie from your hand, so you can use Nessie to get another danger to your hand. Or you could use Unizombie to get another monster in the graveyard, so you can go off a little bit more. My personal opinion, I should have did the Foolish Burial before I did the Solitaire. Because Foolish Burial, I could have sent, I would have sent... If I can get to him real quick. Only one of in the deck. I would have sent this, and then use that, go off it like that way, be like that instead. So let's just take that back for a second and show you what I meant. So what I would have done was I would have played Foolish Burial, send Spring King, then normal summon Solitaire, and then go off with that Unizombie, and then I can choose to use Unizombie's effect. I can either discard the Danger or send from the deck. Now I have 2 level 4s on the board, so I can go for my Astral main play. So really I'm going to just use the Unizombie's effect to discard Nessie. Target itself increases level by 1. And then I'm going to get, obviously, I can either get Mothman, which is pretty much not as useful right now at this current moment, or I can go for Jackalope. Then I'm going to synchro off these 2 from the main monster I always go for, which is the reason why the deck is really powerful. And then go for his effect. Activate the top 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not really the best. That's actually quite terrible. But we did get Chaos Space and we did Collapse Serpent. So I'm going to get Collapse Serpent to my hand. The rest goes to grave. Chaos Space is actually pretty useful in the graveyard or in the hand, so it didn't really matter on that. So this is actually the pretty good hand so far. So I'm going to special summon the Collapse Serpent by banishing. Let's banish the Matrix. Get Matrix effect to add another Matrix. Let's add another Matrix. Pretty much shuffle pretty well here. Obviously, we always cut, like our opponent would have done. So we got a pretty tight hand. So we got follow back play, we got Jackalope, and then we got Chaos Creator. So even if our opponent Nibiru's us, it wouldn't really do much because we have the Chaos Creator, so we can go off a little more plays there. So I'm going to link away with a Collapse Serpent for a striker, and we're going to get Collapse Serpent to get Wither. No, speak of the devil, he's at the bottom. That's a perfect spot where I want to see him. That way I don't get called out for something. My opponent thinks I'm stacking or something like that. Usually, sometimes with the 60 card decks, your opponent will do something like that, but in reality, it's not guaranteed. So we got a lot of cards in our hand, but I really want to use my Chaos Creator. I don't want to, lose him. He's the main guy I want to go for. So we're going to link with these 2 just to get him out of our ways. We're going to go for Dragonity. We're going to use Dragonity to get us that Dragon Ravine again. Then I'm going to use the Dragon Ravine and activate it. Then I'm going to use Dragon Ravine to discard Jackalope. Now I get 2 effects. Jackalope allows me to special summon. And then we get to send a dragon. So always my main target will be Galactic Spiral Dragon. Or either of these 3 particularly. It depends on what you wanted to send. My personal opinion, I would send Galactic Spiral Dragon. So not bad, not bad. So what I'm going to do is special summon the Chaos Creator. We're banishing the Hawk. And let's get rid of Collapse Serpent. So I'll get Hawk's effect. I'm really going to only probably shuffle back the Raiden. Then I get Creator's effect. I'm pretty much going to summon back... We're going to summon back the Hawk. Put everything else back. So we're just basically recycling everything. And then we're going to use Hawk's effect after all. Chaos Creator's effect. Actually, for that, we shuffle. We draw a card. And then we put back the 2 cards to the bottom. So those 2. Then we're going to special summon Weather Buster by banishing that Collapse Serpent that we have in the graveyard, if we still have it there, which we do not. So we're just going to banish... We're going to banish that Chaos Creator. We want to get that Chaos Creator back into our deck. I'm going to use the charge. I'm going to use this again, try to get that extra advantage, extra mills, which really wasn't that powerful, but it was something. And we're going to get that right into our hand, so we can get a card to discard off of Dragoon if possible. We're probably going to use that Matrix to discard off for Dragoon. That's not bad. Now here goes to the fun parts that I'm probably going to end up doing. I'm going to overlay both of them. This is where number 60 comes in. We're going to use number 60. Detach both of these. We don't need them anymore. We're going to draw 2 and discard 1. Not bad, not bad. Let's discard that Raiden. We don't need Raiden. Activate Dragon Ravine again. Discard the Roar. Send Chaos Dragon. Or add Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Or we could send Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Or we could send Star of the Sifrits Dragon. But in my personal opinion, what we should have done, now I think of it, is sometimes you don't really always want to send them. You want to send him. Which gives us an additional boost to send actually Chaos Dragon Levianeer off of that. Now, most often you don't know what you're going to send. So, in personal opinion, I always send the Starless Sifrits Dragon, which should have been the main target I always send. Because you don't know what you're really going to send. So, Starless Sifrits Dragon is usually the main target you always want to send. That way it just gets it to the graveyard. That way you have it to utilize for most of the other level 8 Dragon-type monsters you have in the deck. So, usually you want to get that to your hand by banishing the Starless Sifrits Dragon. I should never send this Galactic Spiral Dragon. I apologize, YouTube. I apologize. And I'm going to special summon the Chaos Dragon Levianeer. We're going to banish that Roar. We're going to banish the Danger Mothman. And then we're going to banish Danger Jackalope, leaving us with Striker and Spring King and Nessie as all the other darks in the graveyard. I'm going to get Roar's effect. I believe I already utilized your Roar, but I don't think I did. So I'm going to special summon out Dark. Then I'm going to link away with Dark and Dragonite to special summon out IP. I'm going to link with these two to special out Predevent. Then I have a Matrix in hand, so I could go for Titan, or I could go for something else. Due to the fact I have Dragon Dark in my graveyard, I can actually do something even special, is get him out on the board by banishing both the Dark and the Raiden. So I'll get Dark's effect to add a Thunder Dragon card. So I'll add Thunder Dragon Fusion. Let's see, what else we got in our graveyard here. So this hand, we can actually use Chaos Space to give us an additional advantage by putting back the Chaos Creator and getting an additional draw. Pretty broken, being my personal opinion. Now, in this particular build, we could go for both the Dragoon package, Titan, a level 8 monster, IP Masquerena, so basically a Mechanic Crusader Anclomax, and we can go for 2 level 8s. Or we can just go for... Actually, this could be actually very useful. Hold up, I got an idea. So we're going to special summon him, if we got a light target, which we do. Boom. And boom. overlay for both, or we can link away for Heretic, which requires 2 dragon, so I can get additional place. So I could do something like overlay both of these 2 over here. We can go for, like I said, you can either go for number 68 or number 38. Then you can link with both of these away. Go for her Heretic. He has to go to the bottom of the deck no matter what, even when he's sent from the field to the graveyard, or sent from the field, period. He has to go to the back of the bottom, so you can't really keep him in your hand. Then we can use the Dragoon, or we're going to use Thunder Dragon Fusion. We're going to shuffle back Hawk, Dragon. We don't have any other targets there, but we do have a couple targets here. So we can shuffle back both Dragon. So we can shuffle back all these. We'll get Titan. Then we can use this one, pay 2,000, send the Dragoon package. Send all these to the graveyard, bring out the Dragoon package. And then we can link with both of these 2 during my opponent's turn to summon out Mechanicus Rancomax or Appaloosa, either of the 2. Even though Appaloosa would be a low attack, it's still another way to get around your opponent. And so this would be in the extra deck zone. Sorry about that, I have to bring it out here so you guys can see it. My phone doesn't really cover up everything. Dragoon is basically another negate. Titan's another negate. You do have Matrix in your hand, so you can use Matrix on Titan to give Titan an additional way to get around your opponent. You would have to detach number 68 if you wish to play that during your turn. That way you can use its effect, preventing your opponent from special summoning from the graveyard, and a lot of decks utilize from that. Number 38, you could either be using either of those 2, or you could be playing number 90. The XE that allows you to negate any monster effects. Instead of playing Appaloosa, you can play that. That's a little bit on the pricey side. Same thing as Appaloosa, so I would recommend, if you're going for it, I would probably go for either Appaloosa or number 90. Heretic Seal is a good way too. I already used the 1 card that we usually would just summon off of him. Probably be the Space Summon Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. That became a problem. So I'm so apologize for that, guys. Also, like, there's other things that's really neat about this deck that's really surprising, and a lot of people didn't understand and like about it. So, yeah. Usually this is what the board you'll probably end up on. Sometimes you might end up on other boards like I showed you before. So I hope you guys do enjoy this. I know that it's not as big as I used to do it, and not as many test stands as I used to do. But I hope you guys do enjoy. And let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. And let me know what other decks you guys would like to see. I will be doing an updated deck profile of this deck real soon. There's some ideas for the deck. So, yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. And like always, Dragon Rockstar, signing out. Peace.